Willy D live.
What's up, family? We got a Fetty Wap associate named Fuzzy Fazo who was jacked on the block in front of, I don't know, several of his homies. They were just chilling and he got jacked for his big jewelry. I want you to check this out, fam, and tell me if you think he was backdoored. Let me know if you think his buddies lined him up for this robbery. Check it out. All right, fam, what are your thoughts? Was he backdoored? Did his buddies set him up? Let's take a look at this beautiful beam footage again. I want you to take a look at all of the players involved or not involved. All of the players on the scene. Now, check out Buddy right here at the bottom of the screen with the beanie on. Check him out. Pay close attention to him. But also, just check out the other guys that's hanging out. You see the guy in the hoodie walking up on the phone to your left of the screen. Another guy's approaching him. They're exchanging something. Then you got the guy that's to the left, well, to the right of Fuzzy Fazo. I'm thinking I'm pronouncing the last part of his name right. Fazo, F-A-Z-O-Z-U. Then you got this guy on the right here with the hoodie on, looking at the car, at the truck pulling up. The guy to the right of the screen, he's looking. There's a guy behind the pole you can barely see. Almost in the middle of the screen, there's a pole right there. You can barely see, there's a light pole, right? Or an electric pole, right? And then there's a guy sitting on the stairs. You'll see him, he's in all black. He never moves, he doesn't budge. You know, so I'm watching him and I'm thinking, maybe that dude is high or something. Maybe he's high out of his mind or something, because he never even responds. Like, I mean, he's just sitting there like he's waiting on somebody to come outside and they're about to, you know, take off and go somewhere. So watch this again. Now, again, pay extra close attention to the guy at the middle of the screen. You'll see he barely even moves when these guys pull up and they come out with these sticks. Look, so he's watching the car, he's watching the truck pull up. He's looking. Now he see the robbery going down, but he can run. He can take off running right now. Everybody else gone, except the dude on the stairs. And then this old lady who probably didn't even know what was going on. She walks up, she stumbles upon the robbery. She's kind of like shocked. Now she's trying to get on out of the way a little bit. But Buddy at the bottom of the screen finally dips. And then you see the other guy. You see the other guy. You see Fuzzy. He's looking around like, damn, where did everybody go? Watch this. Look at him, he's looking around. Damn, man, what the hell? What, man, hey, fellas. That's wild, fam. Shout out to Say Cheese. This is why I saw this story. I don't Say Cheese. Does a lot of good work. I mean, he does a lot of work. You know, dude be putting in work. But anyway, fam, yeah. So I saw that, and I thought that was interesting how everybody responded. Now, you know, first and foremost, stepping out on the block with that heavy jewelry on, it's almost like you're asking for it. Well, you are asking for it. You're begging for it. and you ain't got no way to protect yourself, you don't know where it's coming from. Usually, if something like that happens on the block, somebody on the block made the call. Somebody on the block saw you pull up on the block. They made a phone call and they said, man, such over here, man. Yeah, that nigga out here with all this jewelry on, man. This nigga got about $1 million worth of jewelry on. Yeah, come on, get it, man. Yeah, that's how that go. So I'll bet you $1 to a donut that he was backdoored by somebody who was standing out there on that block. Maybe it wasn't his homeboy, but it was another dude on that block who called that in, right? That's what I'm thinking. I bet you, I'm pretty certain that's what happened. Now, applause for the dude who got robbed, Fuzzy Fazo, if that's how you pronounce his last name. I ain't got no problem with that. And he ain't got nothing to be ashamed of. If somebody catch you slipping and they pull up on you, they get you, they got you, say, man, they got your money. They're leaving with your money. Don't let them leave with your life, right? You can all that stuff, whatever he turned over to them, that jewelry, that money, whatever it was, phone, whatever, he can get all of that back and then some. But you step up there and try to play hero, and you can mess around and get your head blown off. You know, you can get your noodles knocked. So the name of the game is play to stay alive, play to stay free. Live to fight another day. Hey, man, look, sometimes when they get you that good, sometimes you just, a person might be so thankful that they didn't kill him that they chalk it up as a stepping stone. In other cases, depending on how a person built, they may not accept that. They just may decide, you know what, you got it, you got me now, but let me find out. Let me find out. I also, first and foremost, the dudes who jacked them, they was in the wrong. They was in the wrong, you know, because the thing is that it don't really matter how much money you got. We all really in the same boat, fam. We out here, man. If you black out here in these streets, we all in the same. It can go down. It can go down at any time. To see them do this to their own people, right? You know, but I get it. You know, there's some people out there, they desperate and they hungry and they don't care who they get. They don't care who. The problem is when you have dudes that move like that, typically that same type of thing end up happening to them. Most of the dudes that I know that killed in the neighborhood, who was killers in the neighborhood, they're dead themselves. They got killed themselves. Most of them got killed. They didn't just go to jail, they got killed. The biggest and the baddest ones that was pulling the sticks out all the time, they ended up dead. Sometimes they go to prison or go to jail, they get out, then they get killed. But typically they get killed because, you know, there's always somebody else that is not going to accept, you know, getting, you know, done like that, or not going to accept you taking down their family like that. So it's a tit for tat type of situation. This is why guys who do make it, who do get out, don't go back on the block. They don't go on the block because, you know, there's guys out there that ain't got jack and they looking to jack. They hungry. And when they see you, all they see is food. They don't see the same dude that came off the block just like them and worked his way up to something and got out. They don't see that. They see food. They see an opportunity. And if you ain't bringing them in to put them down with something, and a lot of times them dudes will get jealous. Now, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of people in the neighborhood who are proud of dudes who make it out the neighborhood because in their minds, if he can make it, I can make it. And it gives them motivation, you know, to get out and do their own thing. but also it gives them a sense of pride, like, damn, he came from where I came from. Even if they're not trying to achieve some type of great success or whatever, be some type of big star. They love the idea that this same person that I grew up with, that I went to school with, that I shared a table with, that I walked the same block with, we played in the same park. Man, he made it. And that gives them a sense of pride, you know. So everybody, you know, regardless of what a lot of people try to say and how the narrative they try to spin, everybody from the hood ain't mad. Everybody from the hood ain't hating on successful people who come from the hood. Everybody ain't hating. In fact, I would dare say most people ain't hating. Because I know when I go back to the hood, it's mostly love. I know it's some haters. I can kind of see. Ooh, boy, I can look at it. I can look at them. I can see them. But most of it is love, though. And I can see that. I see that too. Most of it is love. But if you're gonna go back to the hood, if you're gonna go back to the block, you really gotta watch the way you move on the block. Go there, and especially when you ain't in the mix, you ain't there all the time, man. You're setting yourself up. You're setting yourself up, and they're gonna be out there looking at you like a lick. A lot of these guys, they may not be able to relate to you. All they know is you somebody that you're an opportunity. That's what they see, an opportunity. So you go out there with all that jewelry on, you got all that heavy stuff on. I don't even know if it's real or not. It might be fake, because there's dudes out there that walk around with that stuff on all day, risking their lives, wearing that fake jewelry, end up getting killed. And then there's other guys out there risk their freedom and their lives trying to take this fake jewelry. Whether it's real or not, that's even besides the point. The point is, you don't go out there and put a big old target on your back. I used to wear a lot of jewelry, but that lasted maybe, I don't know, a year. And I was like, no, this is a trap. This ain't cool. I'm too big. It's making me look like a target. I remember being in a club one night and I saw these dudes. They looking at me. I'm at the bar. One of them looking at me like, he like right next to me, and he spoke to me like, what's up? But I see two other dudes with him, and they on the wall, which was real close to the bar. So I peep them, and they looking at me like I'm fool. They looking, I got this big thing on. I got a big piece on. It's like, I got a piece on like 300,000, right? It's big. Dude's looking. So I tapped my partner who was on the other side of me, and I told him to call in the goons, who everybody was all around the club, you know. So there's people upstairs. I got people upstairs. I got people on this side over here messing with the women and all this and stuff. I got people outside. So I called him. I said, yo, I'm finna walk outside. And told him to meet me outside. So just as I figured, I'm walking outside. Me and my partner, we walking outside, and they start moving. We start moving. So as soon as I step outside, I got like 40 hitters outside. I turn around and I watch him walk out, and I stare at him, like give him that look like, yeah, like what's up? And he walked his happy ass on by and went on about his business. But I knew what the play was. But at that moment, I was like, yeah, this ain't a good idea. Because I was pretty certain I was going to get him that night. But sometimes when you win, you still lose, because, hey, man, you got lawsuits, you got an investigation, you got, people that might want to get back at you on something, so sometimes even when you win, you lose. So to me, just walking around with all that jewelry on, it's not worth it. If you're walking around with a bunch of jewelry on, you may as well be walking around with $100 bills on. You might as well just walk around like a person whose birthday it is, and they got $100 bills pinned on their jacket or whatever, on their shirt. You may as well do that because you out there looking like food to somebody who ain't got it. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah. No more talk.